Dusk settles over the mercenary base, heavy with the scent of blood. The intel is in. The target appears tonight. The commander points to the map. One shot, no mistakes. It's a suicide mission. No backup, short on men. When the commander admits they're facing 500 enemies, the air in the tent turns instantly to ice. Daira tries to protest but gets shut down. The commander explodes, screaming about the politics behind the mission, clearly not giving a damn if they live or die. Who accepts a death sentence? Kong Chan sits arms crossed, face cold as stone. His silence radiates pure fury, a quiet rebellion against the absurdity. The officer screams for attention, veins popping. Kong Chan just stares back calmly and says, "Continue," challenging the authority with a razor-sharp tone. The commander grips his baton, trembling with suppressed rage. Their eyes lock in a silent duel, the tension thick enough to snap at any moment. The old commander suddenly smirks, muttering about a special day. That creepy smile sends a warning chill down Kong Chan's spine. Something is very wrong. Your last chance. The scream marks the end of the briefing. As the sky darkens, the mission begins. There's no turning back now. Night falls. The truck rattles violently over the rough jungle terrain. Inside, silence reigns, broken only by the heavy breathing of soldiers. After a bone-shaking ride, the truck halts. Boots hit the mud as everyone jumps out, nerves instantly ramping up to high alert. Orders are barked, cigarettes out, keep moving. The oppressive weight of a kill or be killed mission settles heavily on every soldier's shoulders. Lighting up now? Silver-haired Smithers recklessly sparks a flame, glaringly bright in the dark. Kong Chan looks back, disbelief written all over his face. Smithers whispers some scheme, but Kong Chan shuts him down instantly. Don't do anything stupid tonight. The guy is a walking time bomb. Even with a cigarette, Kong Chan's finger never leaves the trigger. Smithers grins, but the unnatural silence of the jungle screams that the enemy is close. The cigarette is crushed under a boot. No more talk. The squad vanishes into the darkness, moving like ghosts through the trees. Boots pound against the dirt. They sprint, then freeze instantly, scanning the pitch-black jungle for any sign of movement. Crouching low, pushing through the brush, Smithers signals a sudden halt. The silence is deafening, amplifying every heartbeat before the storm. 2 kilometers, zero contact. It's too quiet. A knot of anxiety tightens in Kong Chan's stomach. Something feels terribly wrong. Just as Smithers mocks him for being scared, reality hits hard. Blood explodes across Smithers' face. It's an ambush. Ambush. Bullets rain down like a storm. Smithers takes a hit to the chest, and the squad is instantly thrown into bloody chaos, screams piercing the night. Silence breaks in the rainy jungle as a massive barrage of red fire rains down, shattering everything. Explosions rip through the ground, pinning the squad down. There's nowhere to hide from this overwhelming firepower. Smithers takes a direct hit and collapses. Kong Chan screams his name, eyes wide with panic. As the dust settles, Kong Chan realizes the truth. The enemy was waiting for them. It's a trap. There's no time to breathe. Enemies swarm in for close-quarters combat, their numbers overwhelming. Bodies fall around them as Smithers, in agony, begs for morphine, knowing his end is near. Kong Chan checks the wound and freezes. Logic says to leave him and run, or they all die. Smithers urges him to leave, but Kong Chan explodes with rage, refusing to abandon his brother in arms. He hoists his bleeding teammate onto his back and roars into the fire. The god of Blackfield never surrenders. Even with a man on his back, Kong Chan fires back wildly, though his strength is fading fast. Watching his team die, Kong Chan screams for Daira, fighting to keep his sanity amidst the slaughter. He sprints through the rain, but death is faster. Another teammate takes a bullet to the head behind him. His vision blurs violently. A heavy impact knocks him down, and his mind goes blank with shock. Lying in a pool of blood, realization strikes. The bullet that took him down came from behind. Masked figures stand over him. He struggles to see their faces, dying with 1,000 unanswered questions. Strange voices drift through the void. He's a student. Replace him, confusing him further. He snaps his eyes open to a sterile hospital room, surrounded by doctors, completely lost. Where am I? Chapter 2 begins. Kong Chan stands armed and dangerous on the cover. The war is far from over. Panic inside the classroom. A girl spots trouble outside. Chan's eyes sharpen. Instantly he senses danger. Trouble on the court. A student kneels, surrounded. This isn't a game, it's a public execution. The victim bleeds, surrounded by fake concern. Heavy footsteps approach Sean, and his crew arrive to take control. The victim lies, just sparring. Chan cuts him off coldly. Injuries happen, but why the guilt? Speak up. Chan applies pressure. The bully cracks, sweating bullets. I hit him after the bell rang. Chan dissects his ego. You lost, got mad, and broke his nose? The bully stands exposed and pathetic. Chan's fist clenches, ready to strike. The bully reaches out in desperation. Sunbae. Chan ignores the plea. The bully folds. Chan turns to the bystanders. Too scared to lead, too proud to follow. Don't waste your breath apologizing. The verdict is final. Get out of my sight. You're dead weight. Don't come back tomorrow. Chan sneers at their trembling faces. Deal with it. He has no patience for cowards. The group fractures. Tears flow as they blame the bully. He snaps back, I said sorry. What more do you want? Toxic manipulation. He grabs a terrified girl. I apologized, so we're good, right? The desperation is suffocating. Defeated and shamed, the bully walks away alone. The pathetic charade comes to an end. Total breakdown. The silver-haired boy sobs uncontrollably. The others watch in stunned silence. Back at base. Daira questions the cruelty. Too harsh? Chan shrugs. Only the loyal matter. Daira argues for the girl, getting personal. She looked destroyed. Did you pity the hundreds you killed? The atmosphere in the gym is suffocating as the two troublemakers in blue tracksuits stammer out an apology. The guy on the bench press looks shocked, struggling under the weight, clearly rattled by the mess they caused. The muscle guy explodes, his roar deafening. What did you do this time? The girl with long hair desperately tries to explain, claiming that despite the temper tantrum, they could have talked it out. The girl with the ponytail looks crushed, calling the situation frustrating. The muscle guy narrows his eyes, suspecting foul play, but she frantically denies it, pleading that they just thought he was too harsh and wanted to ask for forgiveness. The muscle guy turns, locking eyes with the guy in glasses, and throws the decision at him. If you want, I can make them disappear for good. Are you sure you want to forgive them? Really? The guy in glasses hesitates, feeling he has no right to decide. But the muscle guy crosses his arms, cutting through the noise, and presses him again. I'm asking you one thing. Do you forgive them or not? Under the immense pressure, the guy in glasses finally nods. Fine, I forgive them. The muscle guy smirks and immediately revokes the expulsion order. The girl next to them exhales sharply, the tension finally breaking. The mood lightens instantly. The bearded guy laughs and slaps the guy in glasses on the head, teasing him. You little brat, you sparred well, so why do you look like such a mess? Laughter finally fills the room. While the group chats inside, the vibe outside is different. Two figures walk away hurriedly, muttering and wondering if those thugs were forced to apologize, their suspicions still lingering. The scene shifts to the weight section, where a man in a tight black shirt is bench pressing. His eyes are cold as he grunts through the reps, plotting his next move with a subordinate and mentioning a visit to the II company. The scene shifts to the hospital, bathed in sunlight. Someone arrives with juice and massive news. France has officially chosen their company. It's the breakthrough they've been waiting for. The two businessmen in the hospital beds are grinning ear to ear. Bandages aside, the deal makes the injury worth it. They can't stop thanking Kong Chan, claiming the company has just jumped to a whole new league. These shrewd businessmen don't mince words. Knowing their connection to Ranork is all thanks to him, they immediately offer a reward, 15% of the company's shares, straight to Kong Chan for risking his life. Kong Chan tries to refuse the massive payout, but they won't let him. The man drops an ultimatum, take the shares, or they cancel all the European contracts. It's not a gift, they're practically forcing him to get rich. Faced with such a threat, Kong Chan has no choice but to sigh and accept the fortune. The man smiles, satisfied, and switches back to a caring tone, asking when Kong Chan will be discharged. The scene shifts to the DI Entertainment building at sunset. Inside, a blonde executive is glued to her tablet. She claims everything is fine, but her male colleague can see the stress radiating off her. Breaking her facade, the blonde woman clutches her head in pain. She admits the casting for the male lead is driving her insane, her sheer exhaustion catching her colleague completely off guard. She sits alone on the sofa, eyes distant, gripping her tablet tight. Behind the glamour of the entertainment world, a storm is brewing that she feels powerless to stop. Just as he settles in, A text pops up from Lee Hojin. Assuming it's a friend, Kong Chan casually replies that he's out. The reply is instant and hostile. Want to die? Why didn't you report to me? Kong Chan frowns. This isn't how friends talk. Accusations of being ignored follow immediately. Kong Chan lets out a cold chuckle and texts back a blunt "I'm busy." The phone starts buzzing with a call. Kong Chan sighs deeply, leaning back with a look of pure annoyance. Picking up, he listens to the ranting on the other end and laughs, asking if the guy lost his mind while he was gone. He hangs up mid-sentence, ignoring the threats. With a cold expression, he taps the screen and blocks the number for good. Meanwhile, under a heavy downpour at school, a furious scream echoes through the air. Kong Chan, you bastard! On the rooftop, the blonde bully realizes he's been blocked. He smashes his phone in a blind rage, swearing revenge. While his lackeys look on, the bully grinds his teeth, daring Kong Chan to show his face at school tomorrow. Late at night, Kong Chan scours military news sites, but finds absolutely zero trace of the operation in Africa. The eerie lack of information gives him a headache. He stands up, desperate for a cigarette to clear his mind. He rummages through drawers and bags, complaining that the original owner was too much of a nerd to stash any smokes. Checking a hidden compartment behind the bookshelf, instead of cigarettes, he pulls out a handful of crumpled notes. The notes are screams of despair. Kill the bullies, I can't take it anymore. Kong Chan's eyes go cold as he reads them. So the kid was living in hell. Kong Chan tosses the notes aside. He didn't find cigarettes, but he found a reason to go to school. He falls into a deep sleep. The next morning, a black sedan cuts through the streets, taking him toward the battlefield. Silence fills the car. Kong Chan stares out the window, his eyes calm but ready for the reckoning ahead. As he steps onto campus, whispers erupt everywhere. All eyes are on the student who survived the impossible. The blonde bully blocks his path, screaming about the phone call. Kong Chan raises an eyebrow. So this is the guy. Instead of fear, Chan flashes a chilling, predatory smile. Hojin mocks him, unaware he's staring into the eyes of a beast who has just found his prey. Chan locks eyes with him, declaring he's found his assistant. Hojin freezes, his arrogance replaced by pure confusion and a creeping sense of dread. While Hojin screams about missing his errand boy, Chan calmly confirms the bully's identity and audaciously demands a cigarette for himself. Chan insists on the smoke with a smirk. Hojin's patience snaps, knuckles cracking. He decides to skip the lecture and move straight to violence. They relocate to the gymnasium. The echo of their footsteps amplifies the tension as the bully prepares to crush his victim. Hojin launches a wild, angry haymaker. Chan watches it coming in slow motion, slips the punch, and plants a devastating counter that sends the bully crashing down. You talk too much. Chan doesn't let up the moment Hojin tries to recover. Another heavy blow connects, turning the fight into a one-sided beatdown. Chan halts his fist inches from Hojin's face. His killer instinct screams to finish it, but cold logic prevails. Murdering a high schooler would be too messy to clean up. Annoyed that the bully didn't even have cigarettes, Chan stands over the broken body. He speaks into the void, asking the original Kong Chan if he's witnessing this justice. Bidding the original soul to find peace, Chan turns to leave. But behind him, a groan cuts the silence. Hojin is dragging himself back up, refusing to stay down. Like a rabid dog, Hojin charges again. Chan is genuinely shocked by the kid's resilience, but instantly snaps back to combat mode, landing a precision strike to the face. A brutal kick sends Hojin flying, blood spraying everywhere. Yet, defying all logic, the bully staggers back to his feet, eyes burning with pure, adrenaline-fueled rage. Chan realizes this weak teenage body lacks the power to end fights instantly. As Hojin lunges with a desperate roar, Chan accepts the reality. He'll just have to hit him until he stops moving. No more mercy. Chan unleashes a ruthless rapid-fire combo, his fists blurring as they pulverize Hojin's face, finally smashing the fight out of him. With the bully moaning in a pool of blood, the adrenaline fades. Chan looks around the wrecked room and realizes with a jolt, wait, this is my classroom. Walking away from the carnage like nothing happened, Chan steps out onto the quiet street. Suddenly, a voice calls out his name, breaking his solitude. A girl resembling Snow White trots up to him, asking if he's back. Chan plays it cool, but internally he's completely lost. Who is this girl, and why is she talking to me? As she mentions the class was worried, Chan drops the facade and asks, are we in the same class? Her confused expression says it all. Ignoring her shock, Chan commands her to lead the way. Guided by the bewildered girl, he finally locates his target, class 3-2. Chan sits, but his instincts scream danger. The classroom feels like a battlefield, haunting memories surfacing. Speak of the devil. The bully Hojin returns, face battered and ego bruised, kicking furniture in a rage. He's not done yet. Hojin is frantically texting his gang, plotting revenge for the very first period. Hojin is still shouting empty threats, but the PE teacher arrives, scanning the crowd and dampening the tension. The teacher spots Chan. His stern look softens into concern, telling the recovering student to sit out and rest. Chan sits on the steps, exhausted and still recovering. But trouble doesn't care about fatigue. Hojin approaches. Let's go somewhere quiet. Hojin glares, clearly not having learned his lesson, demanding a rematch. Chan sighs, tired of this repetitive cycle. He stands up and follows them, resigned to the inevitable violence. It's a trap, of course. In a secluded corner, Hojin's gang is already waiting in ambush. Is this the guy? The masked thug mocks. Target confirmed. The gang wastes no time closing in like wolves. 3 thugs tower over him. Outnumbered and cornered, Chan feels the immense physical pressure of the situation. Scene shift to the corporate world. 2 men in suits face off, the tension here far deadlier than in the schoolyard. The arrogance is suffocating. The man sneers, his face dripping with the smug confidence of someone in power. While the enemy laughs maniacally, Chan remains terrifyingly calm, simply asking, "Do you actually have the power to do that?" The glasses guy drops the mask, threatening to use his media connections to make Chan disappear from the industry. "My patience is running thin." The villain presses. Chan calls the bluff instantly. The clients are overseas, out of his reach. He threatens to block Chan in China and Japan. Chan sips his tea comfortably. "Sure, but that's going to cost you a fortune." The liar claims he is funding. Chan slams the table, exposing the deception immediately. "Bullshit! Why would they fund you?" Flustered, the villain brings up the mafia. Chan just smirks like he's watching a clown. "Oh, are you worried about me? How kind." The gloves are off. Chan's gaze turns icy. "Next time we meet, you'll be on your knees begging. Make sure you speak properly then." The negotiation collapses. The man in glasses loses it, slamming the table and swearing to destroy his enemy's career. Silence follows the outburst. The man in white suggests rescheduling coldly, while the woman smiles enigmatically. In the hallway, the man is dragged away screaming. Michelle watches coldly, amused that he just dug his own grave. Kong Chan asks with a faint smile if she's scared. Michelle lowers her head, touching her lip nervously, eyes flickering with panic. But instantly, she starts swooning, fantasizing about his dominance and begging for his company with puppy eyes. Kong Chan coldly refuses, citing family plans. Instead of backing off, she excitedly insists on meeting his parents. Kong Chan sighs, stressed. Michelle's smile vanishes as she asks hurtfully, "Why? Are you ashamed of me?" Kong Chan compromises to calm her down. As they walk downstairs, Michelle instantly grins, looking like the cat that got the cream. Kong Chan suggests bringing the school athletes. Michelle agrees immediately, only worried if it might be awkward for a high schooler. They get stopped at the door. The guard is polite but firm. No ticket, no entry, not even for a quick greeting. The manager rushes over, apologizing profusely, and offering to escort them. Kong Chan waves him off, handling it himself. He runs into someone he hates immediately. Kong Chan remains expressionless, but his eyes burn with sudden, suppressed rage. The banquet was in full swing, but the mood suddenly shifts. The crowd stirs, looking around in confusion. Kong Chan stops abruptly, pulling Michelle back. He protects his parents' dignity. That's a scene they wouldn't want their son to see. Entering the lobby, Kong Chan's eyes sharpen. Through the crowd, he spots his father, and the atmosphere feels completely off. It doesn't look good. His father stands there helpless, while the woman next to him frantically calls for a server. Up close, it's ridiculous. A huge, greasy steak stain is plastered on his father's shirt, a humiliating sight that sparks instant anger. Kong Chan questions the server and confirms his suspicion. The customers did it on purpose, mocking the car salesman with pure arrogance. Hearing this, Kong Chan's killing intent flares up. He holds back for now, turning away to call his subordinate, Ju Cheolbium. "Get over here." Listening to their silver spoon superiority, Kong Chan's rage burns hotter. If you like playing the status game, I'll play it to the end. Ju Cheolbyum rushes in. Hearing someone mess with his boss's parents, he's even more furious than Kong Chan. They have a death wish. The order is simple. Treat his parents like royalty, and make those bastards pay. Cheolbyum is ready to execute. Kong Chan insists on paying. Follow protocol. I'll come back in 30 minutes acting like I just arrived. Got it? The manager smiles, understanding perfectly. With one command, the hotel goes into DEFCON 1. Radios buzz everywhere. From the kitchen to the lobby, everyone treats his parents like heads of state. Everything is set, waiting for the show to start. Meanwhile, the blonde troublemaker, Smithen, gets a call. His face turns pale, and he violently smashes his phone onto the table. A desperate memory flashes back the weak high schooler standing on the roof edge, consumed by fear and helplessness. Cold sweat pours down as fear spreads. Suddenly, the trembling man is shown mechanically stuffing food into his mouth, trying to suppress the terror. Gang Chan eats mechanically, staring into nothingness. He thinks to himself that this hollow existence is better than suicide. Outside, the city stands tall, but his internal world is dark and heavy. Back home, the atmosphere is freezing. Dad sits on the couch, fuming about how his son has changed, ready to use violence. Mom, terrified, tries to calm him down, fearing the family is about to break apart. The moment Gang Chan walks in, Dad explodes, rushing over to discipline him. Mom screams, clinging to Dad's back in terror. Yet Gang Chan stands there, cold and unmoved, watching them like a stranger. Facing his furious father, Gang Chan slams a green folder onto the table. The air freezes as he coldly states he has something to show them. Dad stares at the folder, confused and wary. The parents open the folder to find the original Gang Chan suicide note, filled with pain and resentment from bullying. Mom covers her mouth, completely breaking down as the horrific truth hits her. Dad's hands tremble holding the folder, unable to believe the reality. Mom is sobbing uncontrollably. Facing Dad's shaky question, Gang Chan replies with a single, cold word, yes. Dad yells, asking why he stayed silent. Gang Chan calmly recounts the boys' despair jumping off the roof to avoid worrying them. Hearing their son admit to suicide, the parents' hearts shatter. Gang Chan stands by the window, a faint, cold smirk on his face. He doesn't look like a high schooler in a family crisis, but like an outsider calculating his next move. After the misunderstanding clears, Dad's attitude shifts to protective, insisting he'll handle everything. Gang Chan, the former mercenary captain used to being in control, is stunned by his father's sudden firmness. Sitting on the carpet, the parents force Gang Chan to promise he'll speak up next time. When Gang Chan tries to brush it off, Dad clenches his fists and shouts, "We are your parents." The weight of this affection catches Gang Chan off guard. Mom sobs, apologizing for not knowing anything. Crouching in the shadows, Gang Chan feels a pang of pain, perhaps the lingering memories of the original body reacting to their grief. This explains their earlier fear. A flashback reveals the old Gang Chan, traumatized by bullying, drinking and raging at home. He even smashed a bottle at his parents, sending them fleeing in terror. Back in the present, Gang Chan closes his eyes and takes a deep breath. To comfort these poor parents and accept his new responsibility, he makes a solemn promise. Opposite him, his parents sit with heads bowed, still processing the grief. Just as he's about to rest, Dad's phone rings. His face drops. There's a major crisis with his business in France. Goods are stuck in customs due to missing documents, plunging the family into a new panic. The other side demands a massive €100,000 bribe. Dad is frantic, ready to pay anything to save the business. But Gang Chan calmly steps in, stopping his father and signaling that he'll handle it. Gang Chan grabs the phone, instantly shifting back into mercenary captain mode. The blackmailer on the other end keeps threatening to destroy the goods, having no idea who he's messing with. Gang Chan starts speaking fluent French, greeting the caller coldly. His parents watch in utter shock, eyes wide since when did their timid son learn to speak French like a native. Within moments, Gang Chan hangs up and casually says it's fixed. While Dad stands there confused, Gang Chan adds with a cold smirk, "I just told them if they try this again, I'll send Algerian mercenaries to burn their place down." Crisis averted, Mom curiously asks where he learned French. Gang Chan scratches his head awkwardly and lies, "The internet." Innocent Mom actually believes him, marveling at what kids can do these days. Finally back in his room, Gang Chan lies on the bed, exhausted. Touching his healing head, he realizes this body is too weak. His plan to return to France for revenge will have to wait. Kong Chan tosses and turns, haunted by memories of his past life. He forces himself to roll over, shutting out the useless thoughts. At school, he stares out the window, just wanting to heal and leave. Suddenly, a violent kick to his desk breaks his concentration. The blonde bully demands he follow him outside. Chan slowly looks up, his cold, murderous stare freezing the bully in his tracks. Kong Chan clutches his head, struggling to hold back his rage. Suddenly he snaps, looking up, fists clenched, his patience wearing thin. Scene shift to a luxury restaurant. Heels click against the floor as Kong Chan arrives, with a powerful ally by his side. Kong Chan stands sharp in a suit next to the wealthy Michelle. The arrogant relatives inside are instantly stunned by their imposing presence. His mother can't believe her eyes. Kong Chan calmly greets them and introduces Michelle to the silent, shocked table. Michelle introduces herself in broken Korean, then cheekily whispers mother-in-law in French, playing her part perfectly. Kong Chan is startled by her bold act. He quickly plays dumb, pretending to be confused to cover up the awkward moment. Faced with questions, Kong Chan makes up a nonsense excuse about French etiquette. Michelle just smiles silently, enjoying his struggle. They lean in close, bickering under their breath. To the relatives, this intimate exchange only confirms Michelle's high status. Michelle signals she wants to reveal Chan's massive wealth to shock them. Chan shoots her a warning look to stop immediately. To save the mood, Kong Chan quickly changes the subject, claiming Michelle thinks his father looks like a French model. His father blushes, flattered by the compliment. Michelle plays along perfectly, giving a thumbs up to boost his confidence. The relatives stare at the luxury feast, confused by the VIP treatment. Kong Chan implies it's all thanks to Michelle's influence. Michelle calmly explains that her monopoly on French car imports and ties to the ambassador guarantee her special treatment. The relatives finally realize Kong Chan is the power player behind the scenes. Michelle coolly invites everyone to eat, enjoying the stunned silence. The dinner continues as Michelle elegantly forks a pastry, a satisfied smile on her lips, clearly pleased with the conversation. Accompanied by melodious violin music, the atmosphere at the table warms up, intimacy flowing with every clink of silverware. His mother can't hold back her curiosity, staring at the blonde beauty and asking Kong Chan point blank, "Are you two dating?" Michelle playfully admits it, forcing a panicked Kong Chan to wave his hands and claim they're just language partners, making things even more awkward. Suddenly, a manager in a suit approaches, respectfully handing over an exquisite gift bag, claiming it's a special souvenir for VIPs. Inside isn't a trinket, it's a luxury handbag worth millions. Everyone gasps, and Kong Chan instantly gets suspicious. This is no ordinary gift. The manager's face hardens, his tone turning threatening as he forces her to take it. Kong Chan steps in, his eyes turning ice cold. Kong Chan grabs the man's wrist in a vice grip, instantly exposing the dirty scheme. It's a bribe from the Guangtek faction. In the corner, Kong Chan unleashes a terrifying aura, warning them to keep their dirty hands off his family, promising to settle the score later. Trouble handled, Kong Chan composes himself and returns to the table as if nothing happened, while Michelle watches him with a thoughtful gaze. As the dinner concludes, everyone stands to leave, the brief tension seemingly unnoticed amidst the pleasant atmosphere. Someone else rushes over, and Kong Chan almost strikes, but it's just staff handing out packed desserts. A false alarm. Outside, the car is waiting. As they say goodbyes, Michelle seems to have developed a soft spot for Kong Chan's family. A brief exchange before parting. Though polite, the bond of trust between Kong Chan and Michelle has clearly deepened tonight. In high spirits, Michelle hums a tune and struts away, leaving Kong Chan with a playful, stylish goodbye. On the ride home, sunset fills the car. His parents are buzzing with joy, but Kong Chan listens in silence, feeling complex emotions. Watching his family smile, Kong Chan sinks into thought. Does a man with blood on his hands deserve such ordinary happiness? Staring at the sinking sun, a wave of unease hits him. The more perfect the happiness, the more terrifying the fall. Scene shift to the shadows. The blue-haired schemer grins coldly. Negotiations failed, so it's time to play dirty. He targets a trainee named Ji Yunhee, ordering his crew to suit up for a night out. The trap is set. Threats fly over the phone, but the girl doesn't flinch. She smirks, unfazed. She's ready for them. Scanlation group recruitment page. No story content. Flashback hits hard. Fragmented memories scream inside his skull. Who am I? The trauma tears at his mind. Kong Chan snaps awake, drenched in cold sweat. The nightmare lingers, his heart pounding in his chest. The memory is vivid, the freefall, the blood, the exact moment the god of Blackfield met his end. Back in reality, the tension is thick. Kong Chan drops the name Dairu. The gym teacher smiles, identity confirmed. Dairu recalls his own gruesome end. Cornered in the jungle, beaten and bloody, he died right after his captain. Next thing he knew, he woke up screaming in a stranger's bed in Korea, fluent in the language, with a wife beside him. Old habits die hard. The teacher asks for a smoke, but with one cold look from Kong Chan, he stammers and calls the student sir. Frustrated, he slams the table. Taking orders from a high schooler is humiliating. But Kong Chan stays ice cold. Rank is rank. Kong Chan connects the dots and smirks, mocking his subordinate. Enjoying the wife's embrace while I was rotting in a hospital? The teacher curses, but Kong Chan instantly hushes him. Publicly, they are teacher and student, they have to maintain the act. Dairu begs him to live peacefully. But Kong Chan refuses. He's not here to play school, he's going back to France. Pure rage ignites in Kong Chan's eyes. There was a traitor. He won't rest until he hunts down the rat who killed their squad. First, he needs to clean up the trash here. Kong Chan plans a brutal, all-out strike, shocking Dairu with his ruthlessness. Kong Chan scoffs at Dairu's hesitation. Did you go soft? He drops a hint. The enemies in this school aren't just normal kids. The ambassador is still hung up on the kids fight, thinking the weaponry used was overkill. Suspecting organized crime is backing the students, he decides to visit the infirmary to confirm the truth. Cut to Dairu looking annoyed as Kong Chan shamelessly plans to nap in the infirmary until school ends. Moments later, Kong Chan snaps his eyes open, a warrior's instinct kicking in. It's just the blonde bully, now trembling like a leaf, standing by the bed to apologize. When the punk tries to crown him the new school boss, Chan, disgusted, kicks him out immediately. Silence returns as dusk settles over the apparently peaceful campus. After school, Myung runs up to him, her cheerful greeting breaking Chan's surveillance. Seeing her bright, warm smile, the battle-hardened Chan looks momentarily confused. Just as he takes his bag, another girl interrupts, ominously saying people are waiting for him. Chan looks visibly disgusted, thinking high school drama is a never-ending nuisance. He turns to leave without a word, but Myung, sensing trouble, insists on following him. She nervously warns him about the messenger's bad reputation, but Chan couldn't care less about rumors. But the real danger awaits at the gate, adult gangsters leaning against a black sedan. Target confirmed. Their eyes lock onto Chan, and Myung grabs his sleeve in terror. Don't worry. Chan gently pushes her aside and steps toward the menacing thugs alone. The leader sneers and confirms his identity, while Chan coolly assesses the crowded battlefield. The thug points to the car, ordering him inside, leaving Myung terrified and silenced. Facing the threat, Chan's eyes go cold, a look of a predator staring at prey. The cop tries to step in, but the thug disrespects the badge instantly, burning a cigarette right into the officer's face. Talk is cheap. He grabs a handful of hair and violently rips the clothes, treating his victim like absolute trash. Kong Chan snaps. He slams the guy's face into the concrete with zero hesitation, instantly flipping the script. He's not done. He tosses the body like a ragdoll, smashing it into the wet pavement with a bone-crushing thud. The students start filming the chaos, and Kong Chan loses it, screaming at the crowd to put their phones away. Warnings didn't work, so he smashes a phone to pieces. Now the big boss finally steps up, looking ready to kill. The thug pulls a knife, but Kong Chan just stares him down, coldly lecturing him about weapon safety at school. These two aren't just street punks. The red aura and disciplined stance scream professional killers. Kong Chan spots their tactical footing instantly. They know how to position themselves. This is going to be a real fight. The fight erupts. No tricks, just raw violence, fists flying, blood splattering, and bodies getting wrecked. Kong Chan buries a heavy fist into the giant's chest, but the beast barely flinches, soaking up the damage like it's nothing. The impact rattles him. Vision swimming, Kong Chan grits his teeth so hard they might crack, forcing himself to stay focused. The enemy charges like a bleeding mad dog. Kong Chan readies a counter, but a massive hand suddenly grabs his collar. Too fast. A blur of motion, and Kong Chan's head snaps back from a devastating blow he barely saw coming. The hit is heavy. Kong Chan curses internally. This teenage body just can't match the raw power of a grown killer. Set flying by a brutal kick, Kong Chan skids back. The shock fades instantly, replaced by cold, tactical calculation. Dairu would laugh his ass off if he saw me now. Kong Chan clenches his fist, refusing to surrender to these thugs. Screw that. Kong Chan's eyes flare up, channeling every ounce of lethal instinct into a counterattack that finally breaks their guard. The street brawl erupts instantly. Chan fights through the pain, shocking the thugs with his lethality. They realize too late this isn't a normal kid, they're the ones praying for the police now. The commotion draws a crowd. The girl doesn't just watch. She holds up her phone, shouting about the fight to create pressure. Not wanting police attention, the thugs retreat with empty threats. Chan stares them down coldly, firing back a warning. Next time, I'll break your arm. The immediate danger is gone, but they can't stay. Chan hustles the girl away, his face grim. Getting questioned by the police would complicate everything. Once safe, the girl smiles and reveals the truth: she was faking the call. Chan pauses, genuinely unsure if she's brilliant or just an airhead. On the walk home, Chan's mood turns dark. He lectures the innocent high schooler with cold battlefield logic. Trust only your own power. Reliance leads to betrayal. Offended by his cynicism, the girl shoves him and demands an explanation. Chan doesn't bother arguing. He turns and walks away, leaving her fuming in the sunset. They end up walking together anyway. Despite his tough act, Chan is in serious pain, internally cursing this weak high school body. Seeing her genuinely worried about calling an ambulance, Chan abruptly changes the subject to diffuse the tension. It's fine. Do you like tonkatsu? Back to school the next day, and it's torture. Listening to boring philosophy lectures, the former mercenary slams his head on the desk, wishing for a gun instead of a textbook. Even break time isn't peaceful. A girl stammers nervously while facing a group of standing students, the air thick with intimidation. It's the upperclassmen bullies collecting their tax. They slam a ledger on the desk, acting like they own the place, completely dismissing the younger students. The bully leader tries to act tough, but one cold stare from Chan freezes him. Chan gives a simple order. Return the money and get lost. One problem solved, another appears. A classmate nervously delivers a message. The PE teacher wants to see him. Chan's eyes narrow. Dairu is calling. Chapter ends. Chan proves once again who rules the school, but the summons from the gym teacher hints at new complications. In the office, Dairu shifts from comrade to nagging teacher, scolding Kong Chan for yesterday's fight, reminding him this is surveillance-heavy Korea, not the lawless African battlefield. Seeing Kong Chan's nonchalance, Dairu sighs in exasperation, stopping him from leaving with one last request. Dairu asks Kong Chan to protect 4 bullied students. Chan refuses flatly, arguing that interfering now will only make things worse for them once he leaves. Dairu dangles the bait. Student-athlete status implies sleeping in class and skipping afternoons. Then he strikes a nerve. Chan's current weak body wouldn't survive a week in Africa without training. The logic hits home. Kong Chan weighs the pros and cons, then smirks. Deal accepted. He'll take on 4 burdens to regain his physical prime. Tension fills the hallway. The blonde girl in the black mask leans against the wall, arms crossed, her eyes locking onto Kong Chan like a predator lying in wait. Chan tries to walk past, ignoring her. Desperate, she snaps, screaming at his back, demanding to know if he's trying to ruin her life completely. Her scream freezes the classroom. She abandons her dignity in a fit of rage, leaving Chan stunned and realizing yesterday's mess is far from over. She drops her voice, ordering Chan to follow. The gang threatened to cut out Hojin's tongue and sell her into prostitution if she didn't deliver him. On the rooftop, she breaks down completely. Terrified for her family, she begs Chan to meet the gang, promising to do absolutely anything in exchange. Hearing anything, Chan's eyes go cold. He pushes her back, disappointed. In the end, you're just like them, he judges harshly. Chan barks an order. Wash your face, stop the makeup, fix your uniform. She stands frozen in confusion. Is that really all he wants? Misunderstanding cleared, back to business. Chan commands her to call the thugs. Trembling with fear, she succumbs to his pressure and dials. The ringing tone echoes in the air, each beep ratcheting up the tension, counting down to the inevitable storm. The thug starts mocking, but Chan snatches the phone. It's me, Kong Chan. When ordered to come immediately, Chan flips the script, busy till the weekend. See you Monday. The gang leader on the other end erupts in fury, insulted by the audacity. But Chan offers no room for negotiation. This is a notification, not a request. Chan warns them not to run and to leave the girl alone. Hanging up, he has firmly seized control of the upcoming confrontation. Handing back the phone, the girl watches Chan walk away. Something stirs within her, and she chases after him, asking for his number, offering her help again. Chan chuckles internally, thinking she'd be a perfect match for his pervy old enemy Smithin. He rejects her coolly. "I'm good. See you Monday," leaving her confused in his wake. Kong Chan walks alone at dusk, his mind cluttered with thoughts of France and gangsters. Suddenly, a voice calls out from behind. It's the girl, playfully teasing him as Snow White. She asks to walk with him, and he agrees. As they stroll, she steals shy glances at him, but Chan is completely oblivious, his mind filled with confusion. Suddenly, she asks if he likes Yunsul. Before Chan can process it, she spirals into jealousy and insecurity. Chan is left utterly baffled by the sudden drama. Chan clarifies it was a misunderstanding, and she practically collapses with relief. Seeing her reaction, Chan stops and drops the bomb. "Do you like me?" The question sends her into a panic, face turning beet red. Sweating and trembling, she eventually closes her eyes, smiles shyly, and gives a small nod. Her confirmation sends Chan into a panic. He's mentally 29 years old. The guilt hits him hard, but he can't deny how adorable she looks right now. The scene shifts to a visual focus on youth school uniform and slender legs, capturing the pure, aesthetic vibe of a high school romance. Back to the moment of truth. Facing Chan's direct question, the girl, though flustered and blushing, nods once again in confirmation. Chan's inner voice screams, "God, I'm nearly 30. As they sit on the park bench, the air becomes thick with an unbearable awkwardness. Trying to break the tension, Chan blurts out, "Do you want to kiss me?" She freezes, but he pushes on, asking, "What? You don't want to?" Chan decides to handle this logically. He proposes a bet, get first place on the next exam, and he'll kiss her. The girl's confidence instantly skyrockets. The scene shifts to a triumphant future. Under the sunset, she pumps her fists, demanding he honor the deal. "Kiss me." Chan looks on, stunned. Suddenly, reality warps. Lightning strikes, and the girl grows into a giant. She looks down at the tiny Chan with a gentle yet eerie smile. The giant girl stomps down. Terrified, Chan scrambles for his life down the path. This isn't romance anymore. It's a full-blown monster movie. The giant foot pursues him relentlessly, shaking the earth. Drenched in cold sweat, Chan lets out a desperate scream as terror consumes him. Chan bolts upright in bed, screaming. He looks around his familiar room, realizing the terrifying romantic chase was just a nightmare. Panting heavily, he wipes the sweat away. It's late, but he can't sleep. He sighs, composes himself, and puts on his uniform to head out. In the living room, his mom is reading. Seeing her son heading out so early with his bag, she turns in surprise. "Where are you going?" Chan calmly explains he has school study. Though surprised it's Saturday, his mom warmly wishes him a good day. Finally, life returns to normal. Walking through the sunny streets, Kong Chan relishes the school-free Saturday until his phone buzzes. It's Dairu, his old comrade. Cut to the car, Dairu bursts into laughter. The god of Blackfield using extra lessons as an excuse? It's too ridiculous. Jokes aside, they need a plan. Kong Chan wants peace and quiet, so they drive straight into the mountains for some boiled chicken. Dairu gulps down a cold drink, savoring it. Kong Chan reaches out, but gets shut down instantly. No alcohol in a school uniform, kid. They chat casually until Dairu's smile vanishes. He stares at Kong Chan and asks the real question, "Are you satisfied with this peaceful life?" Kong Chan goes silent, his gaze turning ice cold. Dairu watches him closely, knowing the trigger has been pulled. Dark memories flood back. In the flashback, trauma nearly broke him. It was only the desperate cries of his wife and daughter that kept him from falling into madness. The memory is visceral. Back in reality, Kong Chan clutches his chest. He fears disappearing again, knowing this weak body would be useless in Africa. But since the universe gave him a second chance, he won't waste it. Taking a deep breath, his eyes harden with resolve to live this life properly. Admiring the view, Kong Chan murmurs, "It's peaceful." Dairu scoffs immediately. Says the guy who got into a knife fight after 2 days of school? They burst into laughter, but the tension is palpable. Dairu's fist clenches under the table. The pleasantries are over. The real talk begins. Kong Chan drops the bomb. I'm meeting the gangsters on Monday. Daira panics and demands the location, but Kong Chan refuses to drag him in. You're just a weak high schooler now, Daira roars. Kong Chan's eyes turn icy, channeling his past authority. This is an order. Stay out of it. The argument leaves a heavy silence. Suddenly, Dairu stares at Kong Chan and asks the heaviest question. Captain, how many people have you killed? Hundreds, right? Dairu's voice trembles. He pleads with his captain to not go, begging him to just ignore the violence and live in peace. Kong Chan stays silent, then a cold smirk touches his lips. He appreciates the concern, but his eyes make it clear, there is no turning back. You know me. Kong Chan leaves it at that, promising to return here once it's over. Their bond is stronger than the disagreement. Late at night, Kong Chan returns home. Standing alone in the dark room, the silence is deafening the calm before the inevitable storm. The scene explodes into violence. Unarmed against dozens of blades, blood splatters, but Kong Chan's eyes burn with cold, lethal intent. Amidst the flashing blades, his primal instincts take over. Dodge, counter, strike. Bloody but unbroken, the god of Blackfield refuses to fall. The nightmare returns. Chan fights for his life in the pouring rain, but his weak body fails him, getting battered by the enemy. He collapses in the mud, gasping. The harsh reality hits his mind as sharp, but this high school body is too slow and weak to keep up. Meanwhile, in a quiet bedroom, Michelle lies awake staring at her phone, silently waiting for a call that hasn't come. Chan wakes up gasping, drenched in cold sweat. The feeling of weakness lingers. Suddenly, a gentle knock from Mom breaks the silence. Mom peeks in, worried. Chan quickly sits at his desk, masking his panic and exhaustion to keep her from worrying. She asks if he's free tomorrow to meet a friend. Chan hesitates, visibly reluctant to get dragged into a social gathering. But seeing the hope in her eyes, he caves. The moment he agrees, Mom's face lights up with pure joy. Next day, they arrive at Martin Levasseur. Chan immediately realizes this is a high-end French restaurant, screaming wealth and status. They step inside. The grand chandeliers and elegant decor set a formal tone. Chan stays cool, but Mom seems a bit nervous. Chan spots the table immediately. The friend is already waiting. He frowns, sensing a vibe he doesn't like. Some girls nearby whisper about his looks. Ignoring the attention, Chan walks straight toward the table. The husband greets him with a terrible, pretentious accent. Chan has to fight back a smirk at the clownish display. Chan sits down with a cold smirk. He's already figured them out, pretentious snobs trying too hard. Right on cue, the woman starts bragging about her son's elite tutors, subtly mocking Chan for attending a normal school. Mom looks down in shame, feeling inadequate. Seeing her humiliated, Chan's eyes turn icy cold with suppressed anger. As the woman continues to gloat, Mom finally speaks up timidly. Actually, Chan can speak French too. The snob immediately asks which famous tutor he has. Mom whispers, he learned on the internet. The woman's face freezes in shock. Then, the couple bursts into mocking laughter. The internet? Are you joking? They treat it like the funniest thing they've ever heard. Mom turns bright red, utterly humiliated. Amidst their cruel laughter, Chan's rage quietly hits its boiling point. The women freeze, as they realize he understood every word. Kong Chan smirks at their humiliation, enjoying the instant karma as they hide their faces in shame. Instead of being offended, Michelle is captivated by his fluency. Kong Chan leans in with a confident wager, his gaze turning the awkward moment into a flirtatious game. Her friends start teasing from the sidelines, catching Michelle off guard. Kong Chan locks eyes with her, the air thick with sudden, undeniable chemistry. Sudden panic breaks the mood as a woman nearby jumps up. Realizing she's late for her kid's tutor, she scrambles in a cold sweat. Kong Chan tries to leave, but Michelle blocks his path. With a meaningful smile, she tells him he owes her one, effectively locking him into their next encounter. He thinks she wants money, but she demands his number. Michelle stares him down, her confession bold and commanding, leaving no room for refusal. The scene shifts abruptly. Kong Chan sits in the car with a cold stare, while images of submission and danger flash through his mind, a trap of temptation and blood. Outside the police station, Kong Chan demands answers. The bespectacled man adjusts his glasses and drops a vague federal employee, his mysterious attitude screaming high-level clearance. The atmosphere outside the station is tense. Kim points to a waiting black car, offering no explanations, just a command to get in that reeks of government manipulation. Kong Chan hesitates, wary of the trap. Kim suddenly softens, claiming to be a fan and insisting that public eyes prevent him from revealing the truth. Seeing the hesitation, Kim drops the bombshell name, Kim Tae-jin. Kong Chan's eyes narrow instantly. Nobody else should know that connection. With the card played, Kong Chan stops stalling. He agrees to get in, his mind already calculating the risks of this high-stakes game. At the hospital, Kim finally flashes his NIS badge. Suk Kang-ho, cast and all, grins from the bed, vouching for the agent as a comrade he trusts with his life. Suk Kang-ho gets nostalgic, comparing his bond with Agent Kim to his past life with Daeru. It's a heavy hint to Kong Chan. This spook is trustworthy. Formalities over, Kim drops the facade. His expression hardens as he prepares to brief them on classified intel, the air in the room turning heavy and cold. Suk Kang-ho interrupts with an ultimatum: include Kong Chan, or the deal is off. His absolute loyalty to his captain shines through, fierce and uncompromising. Faced with such stubborn loyalty, Kim sighs and caves in. The high and mighty agent drops his guard, pulls up a chair, and prepares to spill the secrets. Kim drops the bombshell, Operation Unicorn. France plans to build a railway spanning Eurasia to dominate Europe. It's not just business, it's global conquest. The agent in glasses drops a hint. The man in charge is someone Kong Chan knows all too well. The name drops Ranok, the French ambassador. The stakes skyrocket, dragging in North Korea, China, and complex geopolitics. The situation is messy. North Korea is split into factions, while their leader remains ominously silent in the shadows. As the agent outlines the railway plan, Daeru suddenly cuts in from his hospital bed with a serious interruption. Kong Chan freezes, eyes wide in disbelief at the sudden twist thrown specifically at him. Ranok explicitly demanded Kong Chan as his sole safety line. Kong Chan instantly refuses, wanting no part of this mess. The agent plays his ace. There's no escape. Intelligence agencies from China to Europe are already watching Kong Chan's every move. Kong Chan takes a stressed sip, sweat beading on his nose. He knows he's completely cornered this time. After the stick comes the carrot: elite university entry, massive funds, and legal immunity. The offer is dangerously tempting. He slides over a black card with no limit. Absolute financial freedom is now sitting right on the table. Kong Chan tries to play the just a student card, but the agent shuts him down. A student who has the French ambassador on speed dial. The agent explains the fallout. Kong Chan's destruction of Ranok's enemies has everyone desperate to know their connection. The tension peaks. Taking this step means Kong Chan waves goodbye to any chance of a normal life and steps into the abyss. Even the tough Daeru accepts defeat. With targets on their backs, government protection is their only survival option. Kong Chan finally relents, snatching the envelope. He agrees to meet Ranok, but his eyes warn them not to push him further. Seeing Kong Chan's rebellious attitude, the agent tries to maintain control, knowing this is the best deal he's going to get. To secure a legal status for his friend Daeru, Kong Chan takes the deal. The agent smiles, looking relieved and victorious. The handshake seals it. The agent welcomes him on behalf of the government, but Kong Chan's cold stare makes it clear, this is just business. Battle reignites as the fully armed god of Blackfield, Kong Chan, stares daggers, ready to pull the trigger. Outside the hospital, the bespectacled agent speaks for the government. It's a welcome, but he needs to confirm who the trusted friend is. Kong Chan reveals he already told Suk Kang-ho. The agent is annoyed, feeling played, but that's exactly how intelligence works. Suppressing his anger, the agent cites national security and protocol to end this unpleasant visit. Watching him leave, Kong Chan lets out a cold scoff. Being suppressed by official procedures is infuriating. Finally discharged, Kong Chan changes out of his gown. Still healing, he must immediately go see his old comrade, Suk Kang-ho. Dressed in a black suit, Kong Chan aims his gun. The cold killing intent of the mercenary captain has fully awakened in this high schooler. At the school plaza, watching the security team run, Kong Chan is in a good mood. He wants to talk to Suk, but is interrupted by a shout of Director Kong. The team excitedly congratulates him on his promotion, then drops a bombshell. A 2-week special training starts tomorrow. Hearing it's NIS-led military training, Kong Chan's face darkens instantly. No one told him. He immediately pulls Suk aside. But the muscle-bound Suk is beaming, thinking he's a real agent now. Kong Chan looks at his goofy grin and tells him to get serious. Watching his overly excited comrade, Kong Chan calls the NIS, demanding to know why they sent his people to training without asking. Agent Kim explains smoothly that while he recommended Suk, he managed to exempt him from basic training, treating him as a full member. Hanging up, Kong Chan tells Suk he doesn't have to suffer through training. The big guy looks disappointed, like he's missing a fun field trip. Except for that girl, Hyo Yoonseon. Suk recalls how she trains until she can't move, saying her grit reminds him exactly of Kong Chan. Two men stand on the steps, conspiring in hushed tones, their eyes calculating the next move regarding Hyo Yoonseon. Walking through the city, Kong Chan replays the chaos, suddenly realizing he abandoned the detective's car at the station. On the phone, the white-haired boss cuts ties, warning that prosecutors are circling the Ulsan gang, forcing him to lay low. Michelle, however, brings good news. Their enemy, Alien, is under a massive tax investigation and in deep trouble. Michelle suspects Kong Chan pulled strings, but he denies having that kind of power, quickly steering the conversation away. Just as Chan marvels at the NIS's efficiency, his phone rings again, sparking a sudden flash of anger. He grips the phone tightly, face grim, sensing a new crisis emerging from the voice on the other end. It's Ambassador Ranork, back early and requesting a meeting at the Namsan Hotel, complicating the situation further. Night falls over Bangji Hospital, a calm exterior hiding the protagonist recovering from a near-death encounter inside. Kong Chan jolts awake, drenched in sweat, eyes wide with the lingering terror of his collapse. Dairu explains Chan passed out immediately. Chan recalls the rainy fight, cursing his weak high school body. Remembering how helplessly he was beaten, the legendary mercenary covers his face, consumed by sheer embarrassment. Just as they settle their story, the door opens, and the white-haired boss walks in, shifting the room's atmosphere. Chan asks for a smoke but gets scolded by Dairu. When the boss questions Dairu, Chan firmly vouches for him. The boss gloats about taking over Gangnam thanks to Chan's chaos, but Chan warns him coldly, "Don't touch my school." The boss pushes back, warning Chan that his high profile has made him a target for everyone in the underworld. The boss demands respect, but Chan's eyes darken, unleashing a terrifying killing intent that instantly paralyzes him. Crushed by the overwhelming aura, the boss immediately folds, raising his hands. "Okay, you win. We're still friends." Before leaving, the boss asks what Dairu teaches. Hearing P teacher, he smirks knowingly and walks out. With the room clear, Dairu mentions Myung's frantic texts and drops the bad news. Chan is stuck in the hospital for a month. Kong Chan and Dairu cook up a car accident cover story to hide the fight. The suit guy heads out to sell the lie, but the screaming text outside suggests the stress isn't over. Mom bursts in, panic-stricken. Kong Chan instantly fakes agony to distract her. She insists on transferring hospitals, but he desperately stalls, claiming moving is too dangerous. Kong Chan sweats internally. He can't exactly say he was stabbed by a knife truck. The white-haired doctor enters for rounds, and Chan plays the role of a recovering patient perfectly. The doctor tries his soothing bedside manner, but Mom isn't buying it. She drops a bombshell. She wants her son transferred immediately. The doctor agrees, shocking Kong Chan. But the sly fox pivots, convincing Mom that a big hospital is too crowded, while here, her son gets VIP treatment. Mom hesitates, mentioning they have the director of Seibayol on speed dial. The doctor's eyes sharpen. He realizes this family is powerful and changes his tactic. The doctor invents an excuse to change bandages to get Mom out. She agrees but lingers, peeking through the door crack with intense, overprotective anxiety. The bandages come off, revealing superhuman healing speed that stuns the doctor. Kong Chan sighs in relief, thanking the old man for handling his mother. The doctor suddenly opens up, revealing his dark past. His gangster brother was stabbed and brought here, but refused treatment out of spite and shame. The doctor admits he had to call his own brother's time of death. Haunted by guilt, he turns to Kong Chan with a heavy request. "I hear you're good with your fists." The doctor offers his hospital as a sanctuary. Kong Chan accepts the alliance but gives a solemn vow. He won't die, and he won't kill unless he has to. Intermission, sharp suit, cold eyes. With his medical backup secured, the god of Blackfield is ready to escalate his war. The scene explodes into action. Kong Chan sprints down a blue-lit corridor, eyes burning with murderous intent. Something has gone wrong. No hesitation. Kong Chan slams into the blockade, unleashing a kinetic blast that sends the black-suited goons flying. They draw guns. Kong Chan freezes for a split second. This isn't a schoolyard brawl anymore. It's a lethal firefight. Deadly force authorized. Kong Chan snaps a wrist, disarming the shooter in a blur of motion before they can pull the trigger. Muzzle flash at point-blank range. Kong Chan brutally redirects the fire, blowing the weapon out of the enemy's hand in a spray of blood. The fight turns ugly. The enemy counters with a baton, landing a heavy blow to Kong Chan's head. His vision swims in a haze of pain and blood. Before he can recover, cold steel pierces his gut. A masked assailant drives a dagger deep into his abdomen. It's a fatal strike. Even with his guts spilling out, Kong Chan is a monster. He launches himself from above, delivering a crushing axe kick to the enemy's skull. Fight until death. The firefight hits its peak. Kong Chan lands a brutal headshot, blood spraying the air. But it's not over. 3 more cold-blooded pros breach the room. Kong Chan's gaze turns icy. He locks onto the target and pulls the trigger. Muzzle flash erupts, and the enemy drops instantly with a fatal headshot. Another clean kill. Panic sets in. The sunglasses-wearing leader sweats bullets, realizing his mistake and screaming, "These guys are experts!" The room becomes a slaughterhouse. Fists fly and muzzle flashes illuminate the chaos. Kong Chan dominates the close-quarters brawl, striking with lethal precision. The assassin leader begins to crack. "Damn it!" he thinks, realizing the ambush has failed. Panic sets in as the situation spirals out of his control. Knowing security is alerted, Kong Chan unleashes hell. A devastating punch connects, smashing the enemy's face and spraying blood across the room. Moving with blinding speed, Kong Chan disarms the enemy. The gun flies, followed instantly by a point-blank shot that pierces the chest. Even Kong Chan has to give them credit. Despite being soaked in blood, the enemy refuses to drop, staring back with cold, fearless resolve. Respect doesn't mean mercy. Kong Chan delivers a crushing blow to the face. The tough guy finally breaks, falling to his knees and screaming in agony. Giving no quarter, Kong Chan follows up with a vicious kick. The sickening crack of impact shatters the enemy's last line of defense. The brawl spills into the elevator. Kong Chan pins his target to the floor with crushing force, his aura terrifying as he suppresses the struggle. He grabs a metal case and smashes it down. Total silence. Kong Chan picks up the briefcase and walks away, leaving the carnage behind. Taking no chances, he delivers a final, brutal stomp. Blood sprays the floor while a witness in the corner trembles in sheer terror. The dust settles. Standing over the bodies, Kong Chan commands, "He's not dead yet. Make him suffer." His men kneel, obeying instantly. "He's dead," the subordinate reports. Kong Chan checks the body suicide pill. These fanatics chose death over interrogation to protect their secrets. Cleanup time. Kong Chan calmly commands, "Use the cargo elevator. Don't alarm the guests." His composure while disposing of the bodies is chilling. Chaos managed. Kong Chan tells the caller, "I'm fine." Leaving the cleanup to his team, he straightens his suit and heads to meet Ambassador Ranort. He reaches room 1701 and knocks. Inside, the powerful French ambassador waits patiently. The atmosphere shifts instantly from violence to heavy tension. They sit face to face. "Heard things got lively," the ambassador notes. Kong Chan sits, masking the adrenaline of the kill with a calm demeanor. A cigar is lit, smoke filling the air. "Talk," the ambassador commands. Kong Chan admits, "The Korean NIS helped me." The mental chess game begins. Ambassador Ranort opens the cigar box, his gaze sharp as a hawk. He cuts the chase. "How did you handle 2 of my best agents at the same time?" Smoke fills the room, thickening the tension. Ranort presses on, and Kong Chan's heart skips a beat. "Was someone watching me back then?" The old fox corners him. "How did you know I was a target today?" Kong Chan looks down, mind racing. This is a trap. Alarms blare in his head. Kong Chan realizes this isn't a chat. The old man suspects him deeply. The scene shifts abruptly from the tense secret meeting back to the noisy school grounds. In the classroom, Glasses Boy Jin is shaking like a leaf. The legendary, scary, Kong Chan is looking specifically for him. The class explodes in whispers. "Is he crazy? Messing with boss Kong Chan?" Jin stands there, looking like a dead man walking. Kong Chan is yelling at the kid when the PE teacher, Suk Kang-ho, storms in and slaps Kong Chan flying. The whole class is stunned. Lunchtime. Poor Jin just wants to eat, but a heavy hand lands on his shoulder, nearly scaring the soul out of him. Kong Chan ignores the excuses, grabs the kid by the wrist, and drags him out. "Shut up and follow me." The commotion is too loud. Kong Chan tries to calm things down, but girls start screaming like it's a kidnapping. Finally, peace returns during the break. In the corner, a long-haired girl rests her head on her desk. Kong Chan knocks on her desk. "Are you Cha Suyeon?" Hearing his name, she snaps her head up, face flushed, completely stunned. He asks if she's busy, and she springs up like a jack-in-the-box, waving frantically. "No, no. Not busy at all." In the hallway, some punks walk by, bowing and calling him boss. The girl next to him trembles in fear. The second-year bullies, usually so cocky, are now bowing deeply, apologizing to Kong Chan's group in terror. Kong Chan coldly says, "You're blocking the way." They drop to their knees instantly, shouting, "Have a nice day," in total submission. Kong Chan takes the group to the gym and drops the bomb. He's starting a sports club, with a violent teacher, Suk Kang-ho, as supervisor. Everyone's confused. Glasses Boy asks what they'll do. "Muscles and self-defense," Kong Chan says calmly. The girl speaks up. "But why us?" Kong Chan crosses his arms and says with a straight face, "Because I want to be friends and have a good time together." The student sits stiffly, tension thick in the air. The man in the jacket claims it's not forced, but his threatening glare and finger pointing at the contract say otherwise. The suit guy is losing his cool until the man in green shuts him down. "Stop staring, this isn't a war zone." Suddenly, Kim Myung pops up with a smile, announcing she's the new club manager. Totally oblivious to the danger, she radiates flowers and sunshine as she offers the forms. The guys stare in disbelief, thinking, is she crazy? This is a trap. Arguments break out in the hallway about dragging a model student into this mess. She looks at the captain with teary eyes, while bystanders watch the drama unfold with cold indifference. A knock interrupts the tension. The delivery guy looks confused. "Did you order pork cutlets?" A calm yes from inside instantly shifts the mood to something oddly comedic. Just as they settle down to eat, a blonde girl peeps through the door crack. The moment she's spotted, she panics and bolts down the hallway, ruining the mealtime peace. She doesn't get far before being cornered. When asked why she's lurking, she turns beet red and snaps back, "I wasn't lurking." Way too defensive to be convincing. Kong Chan doesn't buy it, coldly telling her to get lost as he walks away. She stands there frozen in shock, until someone inside suddenly shouts his name. She hesitates, asking if she can go in. He smirks coldly. "If you want to try something shady, be my guest." The door slams shut, sealing the deal with heavy tension. The blonde girl looks utterly defeated, tears welling up as she grits her teeth. Whatever just happened, it completely broke her spirit. On the track, the students are gasping for air. Kong Chan looks back with a devilish smirk. One more lap. It's absolute torture disguised as a smile. They're pushing past their limits, lungs burning and sweat pouring down. The glasses guy looks like he's about to collapse any second. It's pure agony. The girl counting laps watches coldly from above. Below her, two students have collapsed into a heap, barely able to breathe. Finally, a break. The instructor hands out ice-cold Cokes. The glasses guy chugs it down, tears of joy in his eyes, thinking, "I survived. It's finally over, right?" Before he can finish, thwack. A stick hits his head. The instructor crosses his arms and drops the bomb. That was just the warm-up. Pure horror sets in. For faces of absolute despair. Their souls are leaving their bodies as they realize they didn't join a club they signed up for. A nightmare. And then the real hell starts. A soccer ball smashes directly into the glasses guy's face, blood everywhere. This isn't training, it's an execution. Kong Chan smashes the ball right into the glasses guy's face. He apologizes, asking if he's okay, but the intimidation in his voice suggests otherwise. Instead of stopping it, Daira grins provocatively at Kong Chan. "We're at school, so let's keep playing. I'll show you what happens next." Daira grips the marked volleyball tight, his eyes turning vicious. "When I aim for the face on purpose, it's a whole different story." He doesn't insert, he kicks it. With a massive strike, the volleyball blasts forward like a cannonball, surrounded by explosive energy. Kong Chan doesn't back down. With eyes like daggers, he launches a ferocious spinning kick to meet the brute force head-on. The battle escalates. Kong Chan leaps high, smashing the deadly ball with a header, the impact sending shockwaves through the air. Followed by a brutal low kick, the ball turns into a projectile, blasting the opponent backward with a pained scream. This isn't volleyball, it's a death match. The ball slams into the opponent's face, distorting his features in sheer agony. As the ball finally bounces away, the onlookers are petrified, trembling as they whisper, "This is basically a terror organization." During the break, Kong-chan remarks casually, "Thought I was weak, but compared to them, I'm fine." Daira rolls his eyes. "You just realized you're abnormal?" They discuss calmly, "Training like this daily will kill them. Let's do twice a week." "Sure, handle it." Completely disregarding the students' limits. Suddenly, a stubborn-looking senior girl approaches. The two muscular guys block her immediately. "You again?" Hyo Yunseon, sweating but undeterred, clenches her fists and screams at Kong-chan. "I want to join this club too." Kong-chan rejects her instantly. "No." His reasoning is sound. Why would a high school senior waste time here instead of studying for exams? Desperate, the girl throws out her trump card. "Why not? Kim Myung is in the club too." Kong-chan crosses his arms and delivers a cold blow. "She has good grades." The brutal truth crushes Hyo Yunseon instantly. Humiliated, Hyo Yunseon runs away covering her face, leaving Kong-chan standing there, watching her retreat thoughtfully. On the way home, Kim Myung asks gently, "Can't you let her join? She seemed really determined." Kong-chan remains stubborn. "She doesn't fit in." Myung tries to argue but is ignored, staring at his back with disappointment. Kong-chan walks through the hallway when his phone buzzes. He answers the unknown number, puzzled, only to hear Michelle's voice on the other end. The image of the redhead flashes in his mind. Michelle chuckles, saying she got his number from the French restaurant, leaving Kong-chan wide-eyed. Trouble found him. Michelle lies in bed, teasing him about attracting girls while playing dumb. Kong-chan remains cold, reminding her he's just a high schooler and not in the mood for jokes. She blatantly seduces him over the phone, making provocative noises. Kong-chan, veins popping with frustration, agrees to meet Saturday just to deal with this crazy woman. After receiving a cheesy French voice message, Kong-chan is fuming, feeling like everyone is messing with him. He storms home and swaps his dress shoes for sneakers. In the living room, his father hastily hangs up, clearly hiding something. Kong-chan stands at the door, staring coldly at his father's back, and asks directly who is on the phone. His father forces a smile, claiming it was just a client, and urges him to rest. Kong-chan agrees and turns away, but his gaze darkens. That clumsy lie didn't fool him for a second. Back in his room, Kong-chan bites his thumb, deep in thought. His father's panic was too abnormal. He needs to figure out exactly what's going on. Chapter end. The scene freezes on a tender moment. Perhaps outside his bloody mercenary life, he too longs for such peace. Chapter 19 start. A new chapter begins. In this urban jungle filled with smoke and schemes, the hunters are already in position. Back in the living room, his father is still frantically on the phone. A sudden thud at the door makes him clutch his chest, looking up in sheer panic. Kong-chan stands there in a hoodie, his expression calm. Instead of exposing the lie, he points outside and quietly suggests getting some fresh air. His father tries to refuse, but seeing his son's determined gaze, he sighs. Dropping the act, he agrees to go for a walk together. The park is quiet at night, save for their footsteps. Reaching a secluded spot, Kong-chan stops and turns around, ready to lay the cards on the table. Kong-chan stares into his father's eyes and makes it clear, "If you say you're fine, I won't ask again." But is that the truth? His father pauses, then pats his son's shoulder with a bitter smile. The kid's gaze is too sharp. There's no hiding it anymore. Sitting on the bench, his father finally spills the truth. The French car import deal he secured was hijacked by a big corporation called Seojong Motors. Hearing his father was bullied ignites a fire in Kong-chan. But then he freezes. He just called him father so naturally, and felt genuine rage on his behalf? His father receives the ultimatum. To keep the monopoly, he must buy 500 cars per shipment. It's a trap designed to bankrupt him. Kong-chan finds his father at the park. The old man forces a smile, trying to pivot to new car models to hide his pain. But reality is brutal. Importing 500 luxury cars is impossible. Having mortgaged their home, guilt now crushes him. Despair floods in. His father breaks down, head in hands, feeling like a failure who has doomed his family. "It's okay. Kong Chan's calm voice stuns his father. Sweating, the older man admits a new piece of news made him lose control. The French delegation, scheduled for next week, is arriving tomorrow. They are rushing to cut them out of the deal. Tomorrow? Kong Chan's eyes sharpen. These people are moving faster than expected. Let me go with you. Kong Chan volunteers, claiming his French is good enough to translate. His father hesitates, seeing the confidence in his son's eyes. It's a crazy proposal, but in this desperate dead end, it might be the only variable left. If it fails even with both of us, then we accept it. His words give his father strength. They agree to keep this secret to protect his mother. The street lamp elongates their shadows. The path ahead is uncertain, but his father is no longer fighting alone. Back home, facing his mother's questions, Kong Chan lies smoothly that his father needs some air, masking the approaching storm. Men need time alone sometimes. He brushes it off and heads to his room, his perfect acting raising no suspicion. Just as he relaxes, the blonde calls. Fresh out of the shower, Michelle sounds urgent, but Kong Chan looks purely annoyed. Michelle tries to postpone their meeting, but Kong Chan refuses coldly. In front of him, the business queen has to beg. Kong Chan grudgingly agrees to Monday. Michelle instantly lights up, her delight palpable even through the phone. Hanging up, Kong Chan sighs. That woman changes moods faster than flipping a page. Refocusing, he tries to access his secret account from his past life as Mercenary savings. Unfortunately, identity issues and system blocks lock the funds away. Buying his way out is off the table. Money isn't an option, so they have to rely on skill. Sunday noon, father and son drive to Namsan Hotel. The showdown begins. Outside the hotel, father sets the cover story. Chan is just an assistant today. Chan nods, locking in the role. Father sweats nervously, grateful but anxious. Chan stares at the building, treating this business trip like a tactical mission. They march through the revolving doors. Heavy footsteps echo like a countdown to battle. Chan freezes instantly. A familiar scent of blood fills the air, and a red aura of killing intent explodes in his mind. Heart pounding, cold sweat dripping. Chan locks onto that silhouette, muscles tensing up. It's a hatred carved into his bones. Memories fragment and flood back. The screaming commander, the betrayed mission, the chaos and smoke of his past life. Just as the memories threaten to consume him, a polite bonjour slashes through the hallucination. Chan snaps back to reality. The man turns and offers a hand. Charlon, the traitor who sent him to his death, is standing right there. Chan's eyes widen in total disbelief. How is this guy still alive? And why is he here? This serves as a promotional page displaying related series and credit information. Their hands clasp. Chan feels the grip, suppressing the storm inside him. His mind screams why? Bonjour. Charlon wears a fake business smile, clueless about whose hand he's holding. The politeness is sickening. As they shake hands, a commotion erupts behind them. Some sleazy guy is harassing the waitress, spewing trash. It's Smithin. That loudmouth pervert is here too. He's shouting on the phone, treating the place like his playground. Both enemies in one place. Chan nearly loses it but glances at his nervous dad. He locks it down instantly. I'm the assistant. Charlon is surprised by the perfect French. Chan fires back coldly. Your way of speaking sounds very familiar to me too. They introduce the thug as the sales director. Chan almost laughs internally. These butchers are putting on quite a show. They take their seats. The waitress asks for orders, but the silence is suffocating. This is no longer just a negotiation, it's war. Tension fills the room. Smithin, still traumatized, flinches in terror the moment his name is called. Charlon plays the fox, probing for weakness. Is the name Kong Chan common in Korea? Chan doesn't flinch. He deflects the question calmly, while internally confirming the identity of his past enemies. Formalities over. Drinks land on the table. Charlon's eyes go cold. The business slaughter begins. Hearing the outrageous opening, Chan feigns shock, widening his eyes to play the startled innocent. Charlon flips the table immediately, rejecting the monopoly deal and sticking rigidly to the initial 50-car contract. The old fox leverages a competitor, wearing an arrogant look that says, "Take it or leave it." Father tries to reason, but Charlon corners them instantly using the half payment they've already made. The demands escalate. Charlon imposes impossible facility standards and locks the service rights into a tight chokehold. The other company agreed. That breaks them. Father, desperate and cornered, slams the table and threatens a lawsuit. Charlon isn't fazed. He mocks Father's anger, twisting the knife with feigned pity and cold sarcasm. Charlon explodes in fake rage, accusing Father of declaring war. Father crumbles, unable to get a word in. Seeing his father collapse, Chan steps in to salvage the situation. Wait. Give us a little more time. Charlon sneers, but Chan holds his ground. 1 week. And 1 evening. That's all I need. Back on the terrace, Father sweats bullets. Chan admits blunt truth. No plan yet, but it beats kneeling right now. The cowardly executives panic, begging to go back, apologize, and grovel at Charlon's feet. Chan cuts them off with a cold stare. Retreat now, and those wolves will only bite harder. The blonde ally finally speaks, dropping a bombshell. Right here, right now, Chan's word is my word. That seals it. Absolute authority is handed to Chan. Father is stunned, while Chan smiles. He's in control now. Facing Charlon again, Chan stands tall. As for the mysterious 1 evening, he simply replies, You'll see. The red-haired man glares with sinister anticipation, muttering he can't wait. The tension is suffocating as he gives Kang's father a meaningful look. Korea is full of surprises. You look exactly like an old acquaintance of mine. The mask slips as the goateed man presses for a date for the party. Kong Chan suppresses his murderous intent, calmly deflecting the pressure. We'll be in touch. Since we're all busy, just give us at least a day's notice. Of course. The reply is crisp. As the sound of footsteps fades, this negotiation filled with probing threats and hidden bloodlust finally comes to a temporary halt. The guy leers at a passing woman on his way out. Old habits die hard. Kong Chan's eyes sharpen instantly, the final puzzle piece falling into place. That lecherous behavior confirms it. If it's really Charlon and Smithen, taking them down just got easier. These scumbags pose as polished businessmen, but underneath, they're the same greedy hedonists as before. Past hatred surges. The hunt has officially begun.